Let me tell you a story. It starts with the air smelling like beer and old peanuts. It starts when you walk into a ballpark that feels like God's belly laugh. It starts when you're a kid and your dad smiles and tells you about the legendary way the Mets played in '86, or about the morning in New York the summer after the Dodgers left Brooklyn. It's a story that starts with stories. Let me tell you about the stories that didn't get told. Let me tell you about Jackie Mitchell. Let me tell you about this girl with a smile like a curveball and a curveball like the smile you gave a boy you didn't want to dance with. Let me tell you about how when the Yankees traipsed into the South looking for an easy exhibition game, she sent the Babe and Iron Horse Gehrig home with strikeouts like it was nothing. Let me tell you how the next day she woke up to no job and a declaration from Major League Baseball telling every woman with a strong arm they'd have to be happy teaching their sons how to not throw like girls. Let me tell you about Hank Greenberg. Let me tell you about this flat-footed Jewish boy from the Bronx who hit homers with the beauty of Psalms. Let me tell you about how the at-bat that made him great was the one he didn't take. Let me tell you about how Yom Kippur, in the pennant race of 1934, he stared down every American who loved him for his batting average but hated him for his last name and chose to walk into a synagogue rather than a ballpark. Let me tell you about how that made him a goddamn hero because he saw what it meant to be a great American ball player, all swagger and meanness and unquestioning loyalty, and chose to be remembered as anything else. Let me tell you about Glenn Burke. Let me tell you about this black, gay California kid who no one will name as the first queer baseball player. Let me tell you about how one balmy afternoon after the last home run of the season kissed LA goodbye, he invented the high five and took it from the ballparks to the queerest streets of San Francisco. So the symbol of sports bros and jocks is the last chorus of a man baseball didn't want because of his gayness and who gay history chose to forget about. Let me tell you about this thing called baseball in this place called America, where we build our saints out of bats and gloves and meaningless statistics and hope that no one notices when we wipe their faces off. Let me tell you about everyone who stepped up to a plate with something hated and urgent hanging around their necks and said, "This is not a weakness, it is a kiss from God, and I will go down loving its weight on me." Let me tell you about the at-bats not taken and what they wound up meaning. Let me tell you about all the big damn heroes they wouldn't let us have. Let me tell you a story, because you're not going to hear it tomorrow.